Practice it. Goethe once said, "None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free." To hope that the Dharma life, our quest for liberation, will fully alleviate inner complexity or bring unconditional freedom is an alluring but erroneous hope. No one has completely divested themselves of the inherent delusions within the psyche. No one is abiding in an absolute state of perfect psychological or existential harmony. No one has completely uprooted the afflictive emotions of anger, ignorance, and greed. No one is beyond suffering, no matter how liberated they may appear. Consciousness is simply too vast and complex to fully explore and wisely understand at this point in human evolution. But we must try. And so, to the end of history, murder shall breed murder, always in the name of right and honor and peace, George Bernard Shaw reminds us. That is, until the gods are tired of blood and create a race that can understand. Could there be anything more important than to tame the savageness of man, to end the cycle of human cruelty, man's inhumanity to man? I don't believe that politicians and the capitalists alone are guilty of the war, Anne Frank wrote in her diary. There is an urge and rage in people to destroy, to kill, to murder. And until all mankind, without exception, undergoes a great change, wars will be waged. And that means everybody. Paulo Freire writes that even the oppressed suffer from the duality which has established itself in their innermost being. They discover that without freedom they cannot exist authentically. Yet, although they desire authentic existence, they fear it. They are at one and the same time themselves and the oppressor whose consciousness they have internalized. Primo Levi informs us, monsters exist, but they are too few in number to be truly dangerous. More dangerous are the common men, the functionaries ready to believe and to act without asking questions. The distance we feel from our actions is proportionate to our ignorance of them, states the philosopher John Locke. Our ignorance, in turn, is largely a measure of the length of the chain of intermediaries between ourselves and our acts. As consciousness of the context drops out, he continues, the actions become motions without consequence. With the consequence out of view, people can be parties to the most horrific acts without raising the question of their own role and responsibility. Wage earners who insert the fuse in bombs can then view their activity as but a series of repetitive motions performed for a living. Railroad workers who take trainloads of prisoners to extermination camps can think of themselves as simply providing transportation. As Václav Havel stated, we should constantly disturb. We should bear witness to the misery of the world. We should be provocative by being independent. We should rebel against all hidden and open pressures and manipulations. We should be the chief doubter of systems, of power and its incantations, and should be a witness to their mendacity. For this reason, we essentially don't belong anywhere. We stand out as an irritant wherever we are. William Faulkner reminds us, we must be free, not because we claim freedom, but because we practice it. We must practice freedom each and every day of our lives.